Hello and welcome to another episode of Recovery for the Narcissist podcast. I am your host, Dr. Eric Perry. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I started this podcast to provide support for those who experience narcissistic behaviors and tendencies. It is my belief that we are lacking in actual support and resources for those who have identified with being narcissistic. In today's episode, I would like to discuss projective identification and how narcissists unknowingly apply this psychological tactic to the people around them. Projective identification was first introduced by Melanie Klein, an Austrian-British author and psychoanalyst. She was born in March of 1882. Born into a Jewish family, Melanie Klein spent most of her early life in Vienna. She would go on to develop theories of development and describe defense mechanisms that became a source of controversy, and that they conflicted with Freud's theories of development. She was also known for her work in child analysis. She described projective identification as a defense mechanism in which an individual projects qualities that are unacceptable to the self onto another person. That person then internalizes their projected qualities and believes that these qualities are true and justifiable. Projective identification, easily put, is a self-fulfilling prophecy that you prophesize for someone else. For example, if you can't stand within yourself the feeling of being a loser or being weak, you might project that feeling onto someone else. This could lead you to making snide remarks that imply that they're incapable, not intelligent, a failure, and then they can actually believe these projections are true about themselves. This is a psychological phenomenon that is extremely important for narcissistic individuals to know about. Narcissistic individuals have a tendency to overly project their feelings onto others and must stay mindful about the impact that their projections can have on someone else. They have actually done studies on teachers' perceptions of their students and found that when teachers believed that students would perform well, the students would actually perform better. This is called the Rosenthal Effect. You can remember it by remembering that the students rose to the occasion when the teachers believed in them. The Rosenthal Effect gives us great insight into the powerful impact that our beliefs and projections can have on others. I wanted to share this with you because I know you are working hard on trying to make positive changes with your narcissistic tendencies. You are proving that there are many of you who must feel very similar. And the reason why I'm sharing this is so that you know that you are not alone. There are other listeners who feel maybe very similar to how you feel. They want to make positive change in their life regarding their narcissistic tendencies, and they're not sure how or where to do that. They are starting to do that right here, just like you are. So give some thought to this idea of projective identification. Remember, projective identification is like a self-fulfilling prophecy that you give to someone else by projecting certain things onto them. You might project onto them that they're no good, or that they won't succeed, and you might feel that you're actually helping them somehow, when you're really not. Sometimes narcissistic individuals come from a background where tough love was the language that they learned. Being put down was something that motivated them. Maybe that was true for you, but that's not something that's necessarily helpful for others. Remember the Rosenthal Effect. Be encouraging, believe in people, and you're more likely to see them rise to the occasion, rather than succumbing to some negative projection that really doesn't belong to them. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Recovery for the Narcissist podcast. I am your host, Dr. Eric Perry, and until next time, I'll see you soon.